Hello. Welcome to the heavily. Hello. Welcome to the heavily.
In the middle of his introduction, Luke.
Hello.
Well, actually,
How
welcome to the
dare
heavily-
you?
well, actually,
How dare you?
Hello. Welcome.
How
Welcome.
dare you?
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the heavily altered podcast,
sorry,
I hate that.
episode 19.
Yeah.
50.
19.
You know what?
I
I actually like Luke's
Iron
thought
Man.
process there. Why don't we record 50 and then work our way backwards until we get 19 and then start at 51 and keep going?
Exactly. That optimize efficiency and quality.
So my bets for
Yeah.
the new year. Joe Biden's gonna get assassinated. I'm gonna get assassinated for
Yeah,
politically
this is the end of
motivated reasons.
2021, guys.
You know, it's funny because Luke's probably right. By the end of the year, we might be at 50.
And I might be assassinated.
I mean, statistically, there are
Highly
50.
improbable.
There are
There's a
50 weeks
possibility.
in a year. If we take 2 weeks
So you're
off
telling me there's a chance.
total,
There
you will
is a
probably-
possibility that I get assassinated by the end of the year for political reasons.
Yeah. Whatever.
Political reasons.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You
we all
can't
know.
rule it out.
We all know.
Whatever
We all know Luke
Mulvaney,
goes
whatever
goes
it is.
around.
Who do
whatever
you think I
dog.
am? Who do you think I am? John Mulaney?
Who do you think I am? Jair Bolsonaro?
Who do you think I am?
Okay, no.
I saw that, but I didn't hear it. I just saw Luke's reaction. Oh. Did
Okay,
you drop
so-
it? Did it make a noise?
It
Okay.
did make
It's not like it matters because only like 1 or 2 people, excluding ourselves, so probably just ourselves,
Yeah.
watch this podcast. It's okay. It's a grind. One day we're gonna have billions of subscribers.
I think when we do
Billions.
the thing I talked about in the text earlier, that'll draw some attention potentially.
Which
if
one?
we ever do it.
Oh, like last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be cool.
The long text I sent that was like, hey, would you guys be interested in?
Dude, Naimur did not listen to it.
We can talk about it later because it's one of my topics.
I'm blinking,
Dude.
bro. Oh my god.
Naimur
Okay.
made a bong. Naimur made a bong with
No,
peanut butter
no,
and
no,
smoked
no,
cocaine
no,
in
no,
it.
no. Definitely not what happened. Speaking of cocaine, I started watching Breaking Bad again.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's
All
That's
right,
it.
next topic.
no. I want to hear from you guys. When did you first watch it? Because I watched it when it was still on air.
You're asking me to remember.
I
something
watched it
don't remember.
when we were freshmen in high school. I think my now girlfriend Naimur had been recommending me to watch it for a long time, but my now girlfriend recommended it to me, and I decided to watch it because I'm a simp. And
Still won't watch The
I
Boys though.
liked it. Nope, still won't. When she recommends it to me, I will, but I won't.
Of course.
Until then.
Daniel, what
Namer
about
just
you?
immediately starts texting. Yeah, I don't know when I started.
Daniel, you
watching
watched it
Luke,
when we were sophomores, I think.
I-
Because
Did
you
I,
watched
wa-
it.
I feel like I watched it
You
a
definitely
little
watched it
after
after
you
me.
started. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it when you were after you
I
finished,
had already
or was
finished.
I watching?
I definitely already finished.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of the
So-
time we were just talking about it after the fact, but
Man, I envy all.
Who knows?
Because like,
Who knows? But
I don't know,
I didn't.
I kinda
I
wanna
was
get-
the last to watch it.
kind of want to get nostalgic. So I watched it when it was still on air. So like season 5, part 1. So like the way they did it was like Mad Men, where the final season they aired like the first 8 episodes one year, and the next year they aired the last 8 episodes.
Right.
and
I
the
don't know why
first
they
8
do that.
episodes. The first 8 episodes ends when Hank finds.
I'm
Hank, right? I'm
if
just
we're
saying
gonna
he finds
preface it,
something.
We're
I
gonna
just said he
preface it.
finds something. He
Spoilers.
finds something.
Spoilers. Actually, we're probably gonna talk about spoilers for Breaking Bad for like the next 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
everything's
Skip 10 minutes, and if it's not 10 minutes, then I'll tell you. I'll re-edit this podcast where it's me telling you how far to skip. It is indeed longer than 10 minutes, so go ahead and skip to the 25-minute and 15-second mark if you do not want to hear Breaking Bad spoilers.
Because Daniel. does
or
all the
Daniel will
work.
definitely put on the screen. Go to this time frame when we stop talking
No, I will not. So skip now.
about Breaking
Because
Bad.
Daniel does all
Or
the
if
work.
you're an
idea.
audio
Podcast.
listener, I'll just edit the audio into it.
Listen, if we were
Yeah.
a house, if
Read
if
the
this
audio.
podcast, if this podcast
Okay,
was a household in
spoilers.
the 1950s, Daniel would be the father.
Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Okay, now.
Yeah.
feel free
So
to talk.
season 5, part 1 ends when Hank like finds out that Walt's.
Yes,
He's a
that's
drug
what I
dealer.
thought. Yeah.
But yeah, and so it's weird. I don't know why they did that. I guess obviously they're trying to make the show go on longer. I'm sure like it was to give Vince Gilligan more time to like come up with like how this is all gonna end.
I think it was.
'Cause,
I think it was to give them more time to make it, because I think they didn't want to be rushed. Because I was listening to a podcast made by somebody who is like an executive producer on a big budget TV show, and he was saying that in TV compared to movies, you only have like a week to shoot every episode, and I think Gilligan wanted to have
Really?
a
I don't
lot
think
of.
that's true.
No, it's
You mean a
true.
week per episode or a week every episode? Or all the entire
A week
season
per
in a week?
episode. A week per
Okay.
episode.
Yeah, okay, that's reasonable. I
Yeah.
thought
Yeah, that makes more sense. That I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you have to film like just thinking of The Office, 22 episodes in a week.
No.
Yeah, I was okay.
But yeah, I think they just wanted more time to get it right, because I think the last 8 episodes were the best of television of that show.
See, I disagree. I think season 4 is probably the best season of television ever. Ever.
Well, I'm not talking about
Literally
season. I'm
ever.
talking about the best, like, final 8 episodes of any
Oh yeah,
TV
no,
show
I think
ever.
I don't know. I think part of it is just like, I haven't seen it yet. The last time I saw it was season 5 was when season 5 aired, so I don't remember it. And for those of
Yeah.
you trying to do the math, thinking like trying to guess our age, yes, you're right. I was probably too young to be watching it. I was like, I started watching it like summer of 5th grade. Like me and my brother watched like, we binge watched it on Netflix when only season 4 up to season 4 was on there. Then we watched like season 5 part 1 on TV, and then the final season came out when I was in 6th grade, or like the final part came out when I was in 6th grade. And I was watching it like weekly, and yeah, it's. I mean, I don't recommend someone of that age. But I also like tended to watch more
clarify,
mature
yeah.
things when I was younger. You know, just because I grew up with older siblings, and I felt like I was much more mentally aware.
But yeah, my point is that I think they just wanted more time to get everything.
Yeah,
right
yeah, it makes sense.
in
It
the
makes sense.
last.
But then
in the
what I don't
last-
understand is
'Cause they wanted
Mad
it all
Men
to be
did the same
perfect.
thing. You know what I mean? Like Mad Men did the exact same thing after it, except they did 7 episodes each.
That might have been the same reason, or it might have just
Yeah, it
been
could
they
have been
wanted
the
more
same
money, but
Interesting.
or it could have been
Yeah,
a
or
combination.
I still
of
looked this
both.
up. Walking Dead's
Yeah.
gonna end in 2 years. Can you believe that? Or a year. It's ending next year.
But
Yeah,
don't they still
that's
have
crazy.
spin-offs that are gonna?
Oh yeah, the spin-offs will still happen, but the actual Walking
Yeah.
Dead show.
Isn't what's the spin-off called? Is it
Fear the Walking Dead?
In Space Nothing Will Hear You Scream?
Are you there, Ghost?
Um,
It's me, the Walking Dead.
So, I always just remembered the last season as leaving me with a little less satisfied than I was at the end of the 4th season. I don't know
See,
why.
I think
and Luke
I had
always hated when I said that because he always loved the 5th season.
I love
season's
it.
So
great.
I
I
was
think
always
it's-
like, I just
think it's amazing.
didn't like the 5th season as much.
I think
but I
the
don't know
problem
why.
was, I think the problem truly was maybe it probably should have ended in the 4th season, right? Like, because the 4th season just has so much. Like, it's basically a chess match between him and, you know, the person he's working for, Gus Fring, where one of them has to die. And spoilers, it's not Walt. And so
Yeah.
it's like, you know, it's like this game of cat and mouse. It's very interesting, right? Like Walt is literally watching his every step, because if he just messes up once, right, it's just like this calculated game of chess. And it's so fascinating just to watch. And this is just from my memory of it. I'm still on season 3 right now. I actually started the episode The Fly, which I actually kind of like. A lot of people hate that episode, but
No, I like it a lot.
I like The Fly.
I like
It's
it
a perfect
too.
example
I
of a good bottle episode. Like, how
Yeah.
to do it right.
Good character development. Well, it's not even.
Yeah.
Is it really a bottle episode? Because only
I-
like half of
the-
the
by
episode takes
definition-
place. Only about half the episode takes place in the lab.
Is it really only half?
Yeah, I think so. I thought, or
I
maybe
thought
not
they
half,
had
but like the
I
first
thought they
10
said they had
minutes.
absolutely no filming time outside of. So they literally had to film it in like a few hours or something.
I thought the
So
first
they
10
just
minutes
recorded
or
the whole
so were
thing
them
inside.
doing something. Damer was arguing
I
with
don't.
somebody.
Again, I haven't seen it in a while. I could have sworn somebody like it.
I don't know.
somebody
Maybe you're
described it as
right.
a bottle
Again, it's
episode.
been
I
a
don't
while
know.
since I saw it too, but I thought it wasn't. Or I thought
For
there
people
were
who don't
parts
know
of it
what
that
we're
happened
talking about,
instead.
a bottle episode is an episode where you spend like 90% of the episode in a single room or a single scene or something, and you're just exploring very simple, not simple ideas, but like the plot doesn't get overcomplicated, and it's basically because they don't have enough budget to film like a high quality episode
Yeah.
for entire episode, so they just cut the budget there, make it super simple.
Yeah. Wait, are we talking about why? Sorry, I was dunked out
I was
for a
just
sec.
explaining what a bottle episode is.
Yeah, I agree. I think part of it, the reason why people were upset, I saw a comment about it, like there was an essay about it. It was basically the people that were the people that were watching it as it aired versus the people binge watching it. I'm sure, like the people that binge watched it probably liked the episode because they could just went to the next one. But the people who were watching it week to week probably hated it because they're like, "What? Like, come
Right.
on." You know what I mean?
Character development is very tiresome when it's for such a long period of time, especially if nothing else happens in an episode. So I can get that.
So that's the thing I enjoyed about Breaking Bad primarily was because, or when it was airing, I kind of miss it now, right? So it's like when season 5, part 2 aired, right? Like I was watching SourceFed at the time when they were still around. I guess it was at their peak, probably their prime. I don't know, but they would do like a weekly discussion about each episode, right? And it was kind of cool. Like I was like, yeah, it's like it felt like cool to do. It's like I guess it's in the era of blog posts, discussions, chat, just like talks on YouTube and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool because it's like, where is this gonna go? We don't necessarily know. Like that's the thing, and that's the thing I kind of envy. I don't really envy it. I wish, it's like, I was like, how does this possibly end? Like with you guys, you probably just read like part of the summary and had an idea of what was going to happen before you even finished the show. Maybe.
Nope.
I don't know.
No.
But like.
No, neither of us did.
I knew the ending of the very ending of the show happened.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like.
I don't think I even knew that.
But that's literally it.
Because I don't
and it was
like
only because
spoilers.
it was only because I saw it on the Today Show like 5 years ago or 5 years before.
Okay. Yeah, but like. Just literally have no clue how this was gonna. It was like the same thing with Game of Thrones. I was like excited. I was like, how is this show gonna end? Like, who's gonna be on the like? How does this work? But then I was with Game of Thrones. I was kind of disappointed. But
Okay, Naimur.
Kind of disappointed.
I have some shit.
Let's not get distracted. We have like 3 minutes to finish our spoilers, or I have to edit the podcast more than I want to.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Shut up.
So, I'm talking about with Breaking Bad. Yeah, it's just like it's a weird era of television that's basically gone. It's kind of coming back with like WandaVision and I guess now Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I have not seen it yet. I will watch the episode either today or tomorrow. We'll see.
It doesn't feel the same.
It doesn't because it's like streaming, so it's weird. You know what I mean?
Okay, I hate that. I think
What?
shows. I almost prefer it when shows like that come out week at a time because you have time to theorize and stuff.
No, I'm not saying I don't think it should come out at.
I just
a
don't
week
think
at
they
a
do the
time.
format
It just
correctly.
It
You know,
doesn't
like I think
feel
Breaking
the same
Bad did
as
the week to
TV
week.
shows do on.
I think Breaking Bad did the week to week format very well, where it was like, oh, there's like little hints in the episode to tell for the next one, and on top of that, it kept you compelled to be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen in the next episode? Whereas in this, like, in WandaVision, kinda right, but like there are some points in WandaVision where it's like, oh, like that's how the episode ends. You know what I mean? And it's like I
feel
don't
like
think
that's
it's
more
paced
because
well.
It was like they were like leaving it on a cliffhanger, but it was like it felt unsatisfying, like as if the episode itself didn't have a conclusion.
That's almost more because of poor writing than anything else. But
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
I
That's what
think
we're
it can-
talking about. There is no
Yeah.
show right now out there like Breaking Bad where it's like the weekly format genuinely makes sense and gives you that nostalgia of something like the anticipation
Or just a community
of each
discussion,
episode.
right? Like imagine us just talking about it weekly if Breaking Bad was coming out now, like on AMC, and
Right.
like Mad Men as well. Like I think that whole idea. Well, granted, I never really got to see Game of Thrones. Like the only season I saw while it aired was the final season, so that was a little bit, like I'd be curious to see what it would have been like if I had like with season 7 or even season 6 primarily, like just where it would go up. You know what I mean? But like it's just so fascinating the world that like Vince Gilligan has created. I'm just like so like enthralled, or it's kind of like giving me like motivation to like write something. Like I already had this idea for like a universe I wanted to write about. Just like kind of this. Effectively, I don't want anyone to steal my idea, but like so GTA. There's rumors that it's going to be in Miami or Florida, right? Like Vice City. So that's the rumors, and I was just thinking like what if there's like a show kind of like that, and I just wanted to make a show that it was like the world more so itself, right, where the main character is kind of like a protagonist where he's not necessarily a blank slate, but he is a relatively blank slate, and he's just meeting these band of people around the city, like like a writer who is like doing these things, a corrupt cop, a politician who's super bent and like just trying to get his way, and like the occasional good person, like stuff like that, right?
Right.
On top of this, just this overall encompassing like drug scene with like marijuana and other stuff, and on like that's like my idea for it, and I've slowly been writing I wrote the first episode like during winter break, and then just haven't been around to doing it again. But it's like kind of like I kind of want to do this, like I'm just so like, how do you come up with that? Like not only the whole premise of like a chemistry teacher turned drug dealer, but on top of that, every other layer of the show, like Gus Fring, like the character of Gus Fring himself, just like
So,
so fascinating. But like,
if anybody is currently listening right now, if you are hearing me talk right now and this is you skipping 10 minutes ahead, skip at least 4 more minutes.
okay, yeah.
Please.
And then even beyond the 4 minutes, if we stop 4 minutes, we're just not going to talk about spoilers because I'm basically just talking about like the nostalgia factor of it. But I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh,
I was gonna say
Do you
Yeah,
see
go
it as
ahead.
nostalgic, Luke? Sorry, go ahead. Whatever you were gonna
Breaking Bad.
say. Mm-hmm.
no, like the
No.
whole episodic.
I
type
was
thing,
too old at that. Oh, the
No.
whole episodic thing.
where it's just
or
like
just
you're
or
like
just a show.
a sense
Anything
of
he's
community,
talking about.
a sense of
Not-
community, just watching a video on YouTube, discussing it with like a group.
Not
of
really,
people.
because I was never really into that. I didn't really watch YouTube much when I was younger.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Lame. No, I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
I was much more. I used to read a whole lot, and that's what I would do a lot of my free time when I wasn't watching Dora the Explorer or whatever.
Well, I still do that. You know what I mean? With video games.
When I
and stuff.
wasn't watching Dora the Explorer, I was reading No Country for Old Men.
That's something I do want to
The
talk
Road
about.
as well.
I know. That's
That's
why
what I know.
slightly
Ooh, I
mentioned
do
it.
want to talk about
That's
that
a little
too.
tease.
I want to talk the movie,
Yeah.
but I haven't read the book. But anyway.
I haven't seen the movie. I want to talk about the book.
Okay, yeah, so we can common ground.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we can talk about neither? I'm confused.
Can't tell that.
Yeah.
We can't do anything.
but like, it's just what was I talking about? Yeah, because I think it's this urge of community where it's just like I'm not experiencing this alone, right? So it's like with a video game like Red Dead. I remember watching a spoiler cast about it, just talking about it. I thought it was super interesting, just like listening.
See,
to
I
people
like
talk
that.
About it.
That's what I mostly use Reddit for nowadays. Is like, like as a community to talk about the things that I love, because there's nothing really else like that right now, as far as I know. There's no other kind of
yeah, for
forum
sure.
like that.
Yeah,
where
there's
it's
like
split up
theories and
into
stuff.
different topics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also purposely don't watch video essays till after I finish something like Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, of course.
I've
yeah.
been like kind of not watching like even though I know how it ends. Like I kind of want to experience it again because
Right.
like I just like don't remember like specific details of episodes. I remember like overall the overarching plot, but I don't remember like super in depth the details. Right? Like I don't even remember how the
Same
final
here.
episode ends. And also I kind of like season 4 is kind of a blur to me. Like I don't remember that much. I just remember Box Cutter. That was it. Like the
Yeah.
episode Box Cutter. I actually never saw the scene because again I was in 5th grade, so I was just like,
And
I'm
you're
gonna cover my eyes. I don't want to watch whatever happens.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Damn.
Which that's like the birth of like evil Gus, right? Like his evil side
Yeah.
that you get to see.
That's the first
Like,
time you
truly
really
evil.
see him be a really bad person. Like you kind of know he's a bad person before that.
Or he has a dark side, but you don't see the dark side. You know what I mean?
Was that the beginning of season 4 or the
Yeah,
end of
season 3
3?
ended on such a cliffhanger, right?
That was the. Oh, it's the spoiler part anyway. That was when he killed Gale, right?
Yes, I think.
Or was
I
it
don't
the
know.
episode before
Or was
the end
it?
of season
No, I
3?
think the episode
I don't
before
know.
was when Walt officially like kills someone with a gun, right? Like that's like the first time he's like actually. shot
Oh
someone.
no! That was when he hit those 2 people with the car. And, like,
yeah, and then he killed
them,
one
right?
of them. No, he shot
Yeah.
one of them.
He shot one of
in
them.
the
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
And he
But
told
the
Jesse,
people that were trying
"Run,
to kill Jesse. Yeah,
Run. Yeah,
That's
that was
right.
it.
Yeah.
Was that the season finale or was that the episode after?
I think that was the season
before.
finale. I'm pretty sure that
I think it was
season
the episode
finale.
before. I don't know.
I
And
think,
I
it was
think
the
Box
episode
Cutter-
before, but let's. But I
The
think it's the episode
penultimate
before.
episode?
I feel like Box Cutter is halfway through season 4. I don't think it's
No, Box
right
Cutter
at
is the season
beginning.
premiere. I looked it up.
It really is.
It's the title
Yeah.
is called Box Cutter, of the episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, you guys need to also watch Mad Men, because I would love to talk about it with you guys.
I watched season 1.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
you
is
did?
season
You
4,
finished
episode
season 1?
I finished season 1, and then
What?
I got
When did you have
distracted
time
by
to watch
Dungeons
that?
and Dragons.
Did you like
When's your
season
time
1?
to watch that?
When I was
Oh, when you were away. I because I haven't seen you watch it at all this week, and I thought you watched it.
Did you
all
enjoy it?
today.
thinks I watched it this week. Yeah,
I
so
thought you
all
watched
of
it today.
No,
What did you think? You didn't enjoy it, or what? Did you enjoy it?
no, I did. Are we moving on?
Okay,
guess.
I'll give one last
We have to move on
wrapping
at some point
thought.
because we talk about stuff.
Ooh,
for
so final spoiler for Breaking Bad. I mean, light
skip 30
spoiler.
seconds.
I don't know. So you know in the opening of season 5 where it basically shows Walt in the future, right? And he has hair and stuff, right? And you're like, oh, why does he have hair? Weird. But anyway, he opens like the trunk of a car and there's a gun in it, right?
Mhm.
So when that scene aired, Vince Gilligan had no idea what they were going to use that gun
How
for.
he was gonna? Yeah, I did hear about that.
I thought that was just so fascinating. It was so cool.
Mhm.
And
He's
there's
a-
generally some great parts of season 5 that are very interesting. Like there's some great episodes in season 5. I didn't. You know what's funny with Ozymandias, which is like the arguably I heard is like the best episode of the series besides the finale.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Face Off's the best episode, but anyway,
Which one is Face Off?
season 4 finale.
Oh, the
Yeah.
yeah.
Hector Salamanca. But like for
Skip
me,
30 more seconds.
what was I talking? I like lost track.
You were
So-
talking about your favorite
yeah.
episode, but you were
Oh yeah,
talking about season 5.
Ozymandias. Oh yeah, with Ozymandias. So you know what happens in that episode, right? You
Yes.
two?
Yes.
Yeah. I watched that right before Luke's birthday party. I was just so depressed when we went,
Hilarious.
because like Luke had this thing called a game truck, which was basically like I guess you would rent out this ginormous like RV that had just a bunch of monitors, no TVs and like consoles, and you just played games with your friends. And so like I like went to the party and I was just like, oh my god, what is life? I was just like staring into Blake's face for like the first hour.
That episode was fantastic though.
Oh, bro, dude, like
Ozymandias.
we'll talk about it after the or after the show too. Like, my just
Yeah.
like when stuff happens, but yeah, and with Daniel not liking, I guess, season 5 as much as season 4, or just feeling like it wasn't as like a good of a. I don't know. What were you saying about your?
I don't know. It might be.
I didn't think it was as good. I just didn't like it as much.
It might be
I think-
because I am a absolute sucker for the slow descent into madness. Like Daniel knows, I'm working on a project right now that heavily involves that. I love Red Dead Redemption 2 partially for that. I just love that kind of storytelling, or that you know, that storytelling aspect. I love that.
Maybe
So
it
much.
was. Maybe it was. I did have an idea of where it was going at the start. I felt like this is just thinking because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it could have something to do with all the other seasons. I really didn't have like. I was always like shocked by what came next, and I was like, wow, this is really building to something. And when season 5 happened, I was no longer shocked by what kept coming and coming and coming, because now it was just dominoes falling into place. If that makes sense. I think that might have been why I didn't find it as entertaining.
One thing that did really surprise me was the tape that Walton Schuyler gave Hank.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking
that
about?
That was
That
super
was shocking.
surprising. And again,
was
remember,
shocking.
I'm just watching a video about people talking about it. They're like, "Whoa, like that was so amazing." But
Yeah.
For me personally, in terms of that qualm you have, Daniel, I kind of agree to an extent, because I just felt like season 4 was so good. Season 4 is arguably like I say this all the time.
Fuck.
Like,
Hold on. Sorry.
I think season 4 is the best season of television ever, like ever. Like, genuinely, I genuinely think it's like the best season of television ever. And so like I feel like how do you continue on from that? And like I think for a lot of people, they were just like, where do they go? Right? It's like it didn't feel like there was much to go beyond. Right? Like, you know, the Gus was a part of the show for like 3 seasons, and now that he's gone, it's like, where do you go? Like, what is the need? Like,
I think that was also some of it. The vacuum of a very powerful, like, important character.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it felt like when they added all these new characters,
And
like,
not even that.
you
There are
know, like-
so many characters that we lose throughout the throughout season 4 and
Hey,
into season 5.
can you guys hear
and
me?
throughout season 5. So it felt like
Yeah.
I can hear you. So it some of it might have just been like there's all these vacancies filling up. Like, it's intentional, obviously, but it feels like there's less and less in the story, like substance. Like, oh, well, we don't have that character anymore. Oh, well, we don't have that character anymore. If that makes sense.
I agree to that. I think it's like it just felt like a lot of stuff was being added, you know, and it just didn't make sense for a final season, because they were already marketing it as a final season. Right? It's like when you meet Jack, and then when you meet, what was his name, Ted, the dude that looks like they used to call
the
him
uncle
Meth
or
Damon.
whatever.
No, they used to call him Meth Damon. I remember
They
that.
still call him Meth Damon.
Yeah, and
I've
so
literally seen people describe him as Meth Damon in other movies he's been in.
yeah, exactly. And they call him like the dude, the scariest man in a mask, because like he just looks scarier in a mask than when he does without one. Remember that? Oh, that was funny.
I don't, but that's okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to watch it again, and I don't know anything about Better Call Saul. Like, literally, I don't know anything. I just know Lalo because, you know, I've heard like kind of a talk about it before, like Lalo Salamanca, and then like in the episode Better Call Saul where they introduced Saul in Breaking Bad, which is a great episode. I think it's like, I when I watched it, I think it's like probably in the top 5 of best episodes of Breaking Bad, because it's just so great. I love it. But it's a great bottle episode too. Like, if you don't know anything that's going on, you could just watch it and just be like, wow, that's funny. And So for that, it's just like, because he basically talks like when so Jesse and Walt, like, they basically like kidnap Saul because they're not taking his money to defend, like, the person that got arrested. And so he's like, Lalo, is that you, Lalo? I didn't do anything, I swear. I'm just like, oh,
Right.
interesting. And apparently Better Call Saul's ending next year too, so
Yeah.
that'll be interesting as well. Okay, Mad Men now. Kind of. I don't want to bore Luke. 'cause I
Not
know he
very
hasn't
much.
seen it.
I'm just gonna tell you, I enjoyed it. I just got distracted by something else.
Season 2
So
is
I'll
pretty
watch it.
decent as well. Season 3 is kind of.
And I know you said the first few seasons aren't as good as the later parts of the show. So I know I just have to get through some of it.
Well, it just feels
but
like
I did like it.
I think it feels like the same thing with Breaking Bad, where it just feels like, oh, it's like, where is the point of this story going? You know what I mean? Where it just feels like there's so many different things happening. Like with Betty. Right?
One other thing. Yeah, like that's what I was about to say. The housewife drama doesn't do it for me as much. Like, it's not bad, but there are some scenes where it's like,
Are you saying women don't deserve to be on camera, Daniel?
no. actually, Elizabeth Moss.
She's
is
great.
fantastic. She's
she's
great.
great.
Like the whole first season, love her.
Oh, she
Like,
gets even better
genuinely.
as
She's an amazing actress. She
arguably
really
her
is.
story is probably like the most poignant and
Satisfying?
just best story in the show.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it's effectively the plot of a woman in a predominantly male industry in a time where men had all the control, and feminism was still at its infancy, and she's just working her way up the ladder, and just like
Right.
Yeah.
based on
No,
nothing else but merit, or for the most part.
I haven't watched the show at all, so I don't have anything really to add. But Elizabeth Moss is an amazing actress.
Oh,
She
yeah,
was
she's great.
fantastic in The Invisible Man. She was fantastic in The Handmaid's Tale. That's all I've seen her in.
Yeah, but Daniel, just like the thing about the show is like you'll be surprised about how your opinion on characters change over time, right? Like, everybody thinks Dawn's cool, but then like later it's just like, see, Luke, you'll understand that too. It's like
I think he's only cool to a certain extent. I don't like all of the doing the rounds. Like, I don't like that.
Oh, like how he just cheats on his wife like constantly. Yeah, I mean that's like everybody in the show. I don't know. It's pretty dumb, but like just the idea of like the slow descent into madness. I think that in of itself, Luke, I think you'd really enjoy that because I think you do see that with Dawn.
I don't doubt that I will, but that's.
I mean, you even see that in the first season. I'm not gonna spoil it for Luke, but the last episode, the very ending is just very like, yikes. Very.
Is the last
sad.
episode called The Wheel? Is that the one?
Yes, it is. It's called.
That's
The
a good
Wheel.
episode, right? Like you enjoyed that episode.
And it ends with him just sitting on the stairs.
Yeah, but he basically pitches the Kodak carousel to like Kodak, right? And I just thought
Luke,
it was a
something
really
that's
good
cool
episode.
that I will say about Mad Men is all
Breaking
of the
Bad.
or not all of but a lot of the episodes, the title has multiple meanings within the episode. So like what he's describing with the wheel, he has to sell this product. He's trying to sell this product that is shaped like a wheel, right? Or whatever. But it also involves like a conversation about like telephones, so like calling people using the wheel of a telephone, and then it also has to do with his wife driving somewhere. So and there's all subtleties like that where it's like there's another episode, I forget what it was called, but it was 5G, and 5G was both an important amount of money in the episode and an important just like address. So it was like it's a play on words where it's like,
and it was hinting at the COVID-19 virus.
Yeah, and there's so much subtext. Like I
God.
don't even realize.
Wait, have you seen that trend where it's like, did Mad Men predict the COVID-19 virus in
20 or
2007? I don't know when it came out first.
Yeah, 2007.
But then it just ends with no, they didn't.
no.
It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Speaking of COVID-19, I just want to real quick do a vaccine check.
I'm fully vaccinated.
Sorry, a quick
Fully vaccinated. Daniel got the first
vaccine check.
How
I
did
got
you
my
get the
first
vaccine,
dose.
Daniel?
How did I get it?
arthritis.
Yeah. Did you just get it from like family or just like your dad gave it to you?
Yeah,
in the back of the van?
my family just has the vaccine. They've been stealing
Your shady
some,
uncle, your shady uncle Otis gave it to you in the back.
No,
of
I
his van?
went down to, and I was able to get
Oy.
in because I
Oy.
technically
Should
have an
not have said that.
autoimmune.
Should not have said.
I'll just cut it out.
But like it's so subtle that I don't think you're gonna remember that you said that.
I wanted to add,
But now that you've said, "Oh, you need to cut that out," I'll remember.
Okay.
for the record, I do agree with Daniel. Naimur, you're stupid.
What?
Yeah, Naimur, you're stupid.
How?
I got an appointment to get a vaccine.
Good job.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
okay.
next Friday because I am an educator.
Is that
Fist
simple?
bump.
Just get or you just get an appointment now? Because before it was like you had to
Yeah.
be in a group and stuff,
You have to
Well,
be
I'm
in
technically
a group.
part of the group, and Luke's
or
technically
like part of
the
it, like like
No, I am.
conditions, something like
I
that.
signed up.
Oh.
No. I'm part of group 2 or something because I'm technically an educator.
Oh, because you're a tutor.
Yeah,
Right.
I tutor in person.
Oh yeah, that's
So that
fair.
makes me an in-person educator.
Why don't they
yeah.
make like freaking fast food people in like the one group? You know what I mean? It's kind of
I
bummer.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
Kind of sucks.
And also, I don't really like. To be 100% honest, like I am super glad that I got it, but there's some people who say when they get the vaccine they feel like a superiority, like they're saying that as a joke, right? Like, oh well, now I'm
Oh,
better.
I
than
did that as
everyone, right?
I did that as a
But-
joke. I went to
Right,
Daniel's
but
house after that.
personally,
and I
I
said,
feel
immune.
like I didn't deserve it. Like I feel like there's still so many like elderly people who haven't gotten it, and so many. It's
But
like
the thing is, though,
I
at
just-
this point,
yeah, I don't know.
at this point, anyone who hasn't got it isn't gonna get it, or they don't want it, in my opinion. And any of those,
You think
Hasn't
so?
gotten
Like,
the
Luke,
vaccine?
Luke.
Any
when
of those
I was
elderly
there,
people,
there
I mean.
were still elderly people showing up.
I don't know, man. I'm with Daniel on this one. I just think it's genuinely like the rollout. You know, it's like and apparently we hit 100 million already. Like that was like Biden's goal was 100 million in the first 100 days. But like when you combine that you need 2 doses, that's really not that much, right? It's only like at maximum that's 50 million people, right, that have been fully dosed, and you need
Yeah.
more than that. And there's over 300 million people in this country. And just like
That's
and
fair.
everything else about like when you hear about like the fact of the matter is like companies have to, or like the doctors and stuff, they have to throw out vaccine vials because they will go bad, so they just have to throw them out.
Right. I
'Cause,
heard
you
people
know-
are literally standing around or standing at CVS late at night when they get through all of the people that they were supposed to get through that day, and some people didn't show up, and they still have leftover like vaccines. People are waiting there to see if they can get one because they will they have to get rid of it, right? So they offer it first to any CVS staff there that like haven't had the chance to get the vaccine yet, and then after that they offer it to customers standing there. So I've heard of people literally just standing in CVS late at night waiting for the place to close down to see if they can get it multiple nights in a row. Like, I'm not saying this is what people should do to go get it. I'm not saying
It's
like,
sad
oh,
though.
just
That's
that
like
it
a
happens.
third world country
Cheat the
type
system,
thing. You
but,
know what I
like,
mean?
It
Yeah.
really is.
That's like it's really sad.
But then,
that we have there has
Did
to
y'all
happen.
hear what Texas has done?
No, what have they done?
Greg Abbott. So
oh yeah, they opened
first
up
of
the
all,
state again. Yeah.
no, not just that.
So I was like,
but
we were closed, bro. We were closed in the
Yeah.
first place. It didn't even feel like that.
there's that, and then also with regards to the vaccine, I don't know if it was him specifically, but the Texas government, undercut big cities, right? Because obviously the Texas government is corrupt. So they gave less vaccines to big cities than they needed, and then the federal government started to give them vaccines, give the cities vaccines because they weren't getting enough, right? Because they were requesting the federal aid, and then the Texas government gave them less vaccines because they counted the vaccines the federal government was giving them as the vaccines that they needed, which is just more proof that the Texas government is corrupt. So.
Yeah. I mean, the Texas government basically just does nothing.
You know, it was that.
That's
It was
what I've
those.
learned.
It was those windmills that shut down the electrical grid. We gotta end green power.
Yeah, well, it's just learning because I've been in like I have to take a political science class for my credits, and they're just basically talking about like like in terms of like state and local government, Texas just traditionally they don't have a lot of budget in their federal or in their state government, and so they
Because
don't
we have
spend
low
as much either,
taxes.
and they also balance their budget, so they always spend as much as they made, and it's like it's still
We have
low
low
on top of that.
taxes, and we don't spend a lot of money on things either. So, our government is, in some cases, just kind of sitting there and doing nothing.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
huge
by
exaggeration,
definition.
but
But
some
yeah.
people, a lot of conservatives, even I think we are all pretty liberal, but I think all of us can acknowledge that it is kind of nice that you don't get as high taxes here. Like you don't have a
Oh yeah, for sure, it's a benefit, but
I mean, it's
what are the-
nice, but it's not a good
state
thing.
income tax. Is that a thing?
yeah, state income tax.
And they
There is
still
no state
they still
income
manage
tax
to
here.
spend money on like roads and stuff. Like it's not like they're like undercutting certain areas. I mean, they're probably undercutting education, but who's not?
Oh yeah, remember there was like
Not
so
that
at our
that's an
school
excuse, but-
basically there was a tax bill being introduced in our city government, and you know, effectively a lot of families voted no, and so we like felt like obviously we had a really good school district from where we grew up, but like yeah, there was like noticeable changes, right? It was just like, oh yeah, so you have to pay to be in sports now, and not like just like $50. You have to pay like 400 bucks per sport almost to play.
Right.
Like just in the sport, right?
Yeah.
Because they were still opening more schools, and they were still
And all that
like,
stuff. And then on top of that, you know, it was like little things. And then like, oh, we're not going to be able to get as many laptops now. So not as many students in class can use the laptops.
and obviously he's not saying like,
this is a bad.
oh,
Like,
look at
it's
us,
Yeah,
we're
it's
so
champagne
we're so
problems,
unfortunate. Like, yeah, our school was very fortunate. It's just you did notice like, yeah.
But it's just
education
crazy
was-
too. It's like the fact of the matter is because we had block scheduling, so we have 8A, B-day schedules. So basically, on A days we have 4 classes, and on B days we have separate classes, right? So you have classes every
4
other
separate
day,
classes, yeah.
right? So then and then like after this thing didn't pass, they were like, oh, we might have to just do 8 periods a day because it's cheaper. It's like what? It's like it's that noticeable from.
I
like,
don't
an
know why
education
that.
bill?
I don't understand why that's cheaper, but I did.
Yeah.
hear
It's because the
that.
I don't
teacher
really
does
know.
more classes in a day. That's how it was explained to me.
How does
I
it
understand.
make a difference if they're doing the same amount of classes per week or like per year?
No, because you can do more class. So instead of the teacher only being able to teach a maximum of like 4 classes a day, they can teach 8
Okay.
or like 6. You know.
So like if you're talking about like between like 2 days, a teacher under the block schedule can only do 8 classes in 2 days, whereas on the traditional schedule they can do 16 at most.
Right.
Obviously, but yeah, that makes sense.
No, that's not how that works. Because that's
It is how it works.
that would be blocked 8 schedule.
Huh?
No, what I'm saying is like
You guys are overthinking this.
no, when there's 8 periods.
No, I get
right?
what you're saying, Naimur. I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
So instead of the teacher only being able to do like
When there's 8 periods,
so we have like it would be 4 classes with an hour and a half per class now, or in the current block schedule format. For after that, it would be like 8 classes, 45 minutes each. So then you could just do more than that. You know what I mean?
no,
So
I
you could do,
understand
like,
what you're saying, and I said something that proved your point.
So for
the
everyone who
16
just
one doesn't
spaced
make
out
any
for
sense.
about
You
2
can't physically
minutes.
teach
For,
16
okay,
classes.
But in 2 days,
you two
in
are
2
arguing
days.
over. Oh
no,
my
but that
God.
would be if there was 8 classes on an A day and 8 classes on a B day.
No,
I'm saying there would be
that's
none
not
of
what
that.
I'm saying. That's
be
not what
8
I was saying.
periods.
I'm just saying within 2 days, one teacher could teach 16 classes.
Oh, okay.
Not
whatever.
They
Fine.
would do
Sure. We
16
agree, we
periods of
agree.
teaching.
I agree with you. Let's make out now. Okay, are we done?
Okay, I'm down. Can you
guys
come
wanna-
here?
You get you. Thank you, Luke, for pausing and then fixing your mistake so that I didn't have to edit it out.
Come
I smell
over.
burning,
I
and I
meant
can't tell if it's a candle or if it's my lamp.
it's me.
I smell burning in my house, and I can't tell if I left the oven running or if I'm just that hot.
I smell gas in my home.
Can I really quickly talk about 2 movies I watched? I can talk about them real fast.
Okay.
No.
I watched 2 movies. One was good. One was bad. So I watched A Ghost Story. Fantastic movie. I would highly recommend it for people. But I would say, again, it's a kind of an artsy film. So if you're not into that kind of stuff, probably don't watch it. But I thought it was really good. I would like to see it in a theater because it's one of those movies where I think you should see it in a theater. Because the way it's designed is it's very atmospheric. So like all of the noises you're hearing are very like in your ear, very loud. Like when something loud happens, it is loud. And when something like quiet happens, it is quiet. So I think it would play out much better in a theater. Have you guys heard of I'm Thinking of Ending Things?
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
What's
I
it
don't, know,
about?
I don't know anything that it's about.
It has Matt Damon in it. I hated it. It is the most pretentious
Oh yeah,
garbage.
it's like the Andy
I've-
Kaufman movie, right?
Yes, I think I know he's known for doing like these really like
Very original,
interesting,
out there.
deep. Yeah, exactly. These films that are complex. If you don't have the answer to what's going on in this film in like the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, then you will be confused the entire time. There's a good section up until like the 30, 40 minute mark where I was like, okay, this is cool. I didn't know it was a thriller, so I'm like 30, 40 minutes in, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like some really cool like drama. I think I know what's going on here. And then the ending happens, and I'm like, I have absolutely no idea what's going on. I'm gonna give a 2-minute spoiler warning for people because I'm just gonna explain it real quick to you guys. It's presented from her perspective, from the female's perspective. Everywhere she goes, you are basically with her, okay? Until the very, very
It's
end.
a faulty
But
narrator,
that's
or
fine.
narrator then.
Right. No, it's not faulty narrator. She does not exist. She's a figment of his imagination, and not only that, it's not his imagination now. It's his imagination, like 40 years in the future when he's old and has amnesia.
Tenet.
Not amnesia, Alzheimer's. So like going into the movie, I'm thinking, oh, the reason it's so weird is because she has like some issue with memory or something like that, because it's all from her perspective. So I'm thinking like I have to see this story through the perspective of her, and it's like, no, you don't. And it's I did figure out that the old man that they keep showing is him, like Meth Damon. Like they're the same character, but they show it at the same time, so it's like super confusing. I did figure that out.
Guys,
But the rest of it was super confusing.
What if
Yeah, go
Meth
ahead.
Damon's nickname should... I think it should actually be Creatine Damon.
I don't
So
get
yeah,
it.
I think that's an example of a good movie where it's like emotional. Like they were
Yeah.
both trying to be emotional movies.
Shut
a good
up.
emotional movie where it's atmospheric, and the other one was just kind of like.
He's a
I
decent
exaggerated
actor,
when I
though.
say pretentious garbage. I think some people enjoyed it. Some people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like overly complicated and like I don't know.
Us mentioning Meth Damon is actually kind of interesting because I just remember his role in Vice. You know that movie about Dick Cheney. Have you guys
Oh.
seen it?
Yeah.
I haven't
I've
seen
seen
it,
Vice,
but
right?
yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting way that so it's basically just like a biopic of Dick Cheney, but the way it's told, he's basically the narrator, and you're like, why is he narrating? Like, what purpose does he serve in Dick Cheney's life, right? Because like there's like moments with he's with his family,
Excuse me.
and then he's apparently a soldier in Iraq, and then like all these things. then-
He's apparently a soldier in Iraq.
Or no, was it the It was probably the Persian Gulf War because I think it was before Iraq. Or something.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Also,
get
I
what
just
you're
want to
saying.
point
He
out. I
wasn't
want to point
criticizing
out. I do want to point out that Naimur's there's a tripod in the background of Naimur's camera, and it looks like there's just a person standing in the background, or
I know,
like
that
there's
gets
a
me
doll.
sometimes. Gets me sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you were gonna say it looks like it's pointed right at his bed.
Oh, Vice is a pretty good movie. I've been meaning to watch Succession.
No one thought that was funny. Okay, fine.
Shut up. I just moved it because I needed it for.
That's
no,
my-
I
school.
thought that
That's
was
my
so-
favorite. That's my favorite
Literally
joke.
no one
one of my favorite
reacted.
jokes from. That's one of my favorite jokes from Dinner Party from The Office.
from The Office.
Yeah,
speaking
where
of
they're
The
like, I
Office,
thought I told you to put the camera up, and then they start collapsing the tripod.
all of The Office is available to watch this weekend through Peacock for free.
Ah,
So
Hmm.
if
I
you
don't
want to watch
care.
any episodes,
They're trying to
Freak
get you
Peacock.
hooked. Because they're
Freak
realizing they
Peacock.
didn't get as much people buying their service for The Office as they wanted.
Yeah,
That's
because
probably
they said that
exactly
it
what
would
it is.
entire. They said it would be free, but it's not actually entirely free. Also, in the first 2 seasons that
What's
are
like-
free.
oh, that's the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's only the first 2 seasons that are free. They said that
Are
the
you-
Wait,
entire
you guys
thing
wanna
would be
talk
free.
about
The
something?
weakest parts.
You guys, so, quick question. So we're having a conversation. Do you guys want to talk about something?
I actually
The most casual transition possible. So,
Hey,
guys-
like I want to talk
did you
about
have
something
something to
right
say?
now, and I'm gonna talk about it. I'm mad at this country.
I got diagnosed with AIDS.
we're not getting political, Namer. We're not getting.
I was
Um,
watching.
I think Luke was about to actually introduce something. So go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna say,
I
I've
wanted
been-
to introduce No Country for Old Men. But
Yes, I've been reading. I've been
Oh,
reading No Country for Old Men, and it is one of the best books I've ever read.
wait till you
it's-
watch the movie.
Yeah, I do want to watch the movie.
watch the movie.
I want to watch the movie this week, Daniel.
Okay.
It is intense, bro. That movie
It's been a
is
while
so
since
intense.
I've seen it.
The
so
book,
I'll
the
be
book is
interested to see what I
fantastic.
remember.
The book is extremely intense. I can't wait to read more of Cormac McCarthy stuff because I've heard he's one of the best writers of all time. But the book is amazing. And
He has a style. I don't know if it's the same style in No Country for Old Men, but I
It
read
is.
The Road for Fun once.
the style is very jarring. Like it's hard to get used to, but when you get used to it, it's very good.
This man hates quotes. I don't know why he doesn't like
I
using
know.
quotes.
He
for people
hates
speaking.
punctuation.
It's so confusing.
Luke
Yeah, he
showed
just
me
hates
it, and he was
punctuation.
like, Luke showed me it, the text, and I'm like, so that he's like, it's so confusing. There's no quotes, so you just have to know when the conversation changes, and there's like maybe a slight font change. And then I was like, aren't these two things a different font right here? And he was like, are they? And I was like, yeah, I think that's the indicator of what's in quotes and what's not. And if you look really close, you can barely tell the difference between the two fonts. It's like, okay, very interesting.
I know. It's just I
but
could tell.
no, yeah,
just
it's a
from,
cool
it'd
style.
be like blah 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 blah. He said, but there's like no quotes.
But
Right.
Or it's like
the
I'm
thing is,
tired.
it's very difficult when there's like a description or whatever, and then like a quote, like somebody talking, where it's like he walks some, or like when there's like a passage and at the end a character says something, because you kind of have to read it all again to figure out where he started or where the character started. To
Where the
talk.
character started talking. Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah. I don't know. It was Road was interesting to read. Depressing.
I've
So
been
depressing.
meaning to read The Road. I watched the movie. That movie was very sad.
Wow. So we're literally reversed.
I have not.
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie.
And
or
I
read the
haven't
book.
seen or read either. Bada bing, bada boom.
I was
Cash
tempted.
money.
See, that was the
I'm just
benefit of
kidding.
reading
That
The
was really
Road. I read
cringy.
it. I read it for fun in like sophomore year of high school, and then senior year we had to do like a
Read it for
dystopian-
fun? What does that even mean? Isn't it depressing?
Well, I was just interested because
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
It was a
I got dumped.
joke.
I was like, maybe
So
I
it was-
could.
it was a
Maybe this
joke.
will be the time where I'll become reading. My mom will
That
finally
movie-
be happy that I read. But like,
That movie was genuinely one of the saddest movies I've ever watched.
what?
I just remembered something. Luke and I watched a movie this week.
Yeah,
Talk
we
about it in a
watched.
second.
You
That
watched
movie was
3
very sad
movies
as
this
well.
week? Jesus,
We only
do you
watched
have
one
any
movie
time?
this week.
I didn't watch 3 movies this week. The other 2 I watched last week because it's been
Yeah.
2 weeks since we recorded. Apologies, guys. We couldn't record last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
schedules
the
just
half
didn't
view that's unique.
As if
Oh,
there were
really
weekly
sad.
listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to talk as if there are so that when we do have them, it just comes natural.
Yeah. Okay. What movies did you guys watch?
Yeah, we
Slow
watched.
West. You ever heard of her?
We watched the movie Slow West.
No, I've not seen it.
It
Okay.
has Matthew McConaughey in it.
No, it doesn't.
I'm kidding.
Shut
It
up.
doesn't.
It wasn't Matthew McConaughey.
It wasn't Matthew
Future
McConaughey. It has Michael
government-
Fassbender, which he's like phenomenal, you know, and
Future
everything.
governor of Texas, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't know.
What the
He could easily
I don't
run.
know.
If he runs, he's probably gonna win because just from
He
name
probably
value
will.
alone.
Honestly,
Yeah.
celebrities need to stop running for office. I thought we'd learned.
I think if you're going
But-
to, governor is probably the best option instead of just going for the
I don't
presidency.
know, man.
You know?
I don't
See,
know,
Like
man.
Arnold was like a competent governor, right? Like he didn't do anything terrible when he was the governor of California.
I don't know, man.
Arnold
he tried to.
Schwarzenegger,
He
for
tried
the-
to say that. He tried to say that video games shouldn't be protected by the First Amendment. So I don't.
Arnold
Like-
Schwarzenegger said that, or Matthew
Yes.
McConaughey?
When Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor of California, he went to the Supreme Court arguing that video games shouldn't be protected under the First Amendment.
Yeah, whatever. But he ran
Naimur
for
couldn't care less.
he ran as a Republican, and that's like a Republican type thing to do. So like whatever.
Okay,
But like
doesn't mean
that was when they were
okay.
like tame, you know, like they didn't want to like.
That was
ruin
when
the country.
Republicans were.
Have you guys
actually
ever
a
noticed that
conservative
it's
party.
only
Yeah.
celebrities only ever run as Republicans? Like I can't think of a single
No, but
example.
Matthew
of that.
McConaughey wants to run as an independent, so he's probably just gonna be a centrist, like literally a centrist.
Which is a Republican. 9 times out
in
of 10.
Texas, yeah. In Texas,
9 times
yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah, because it's upholding
did-
the status quo by
My
just being
my
moderate.
my family and I went on a camping trip, and the drive was like 9 or 10 hours. We listened to most of his memoirs, most of his book. He had a crazy life.
I thought you were gonna say most boring thing I've listened to. I mean, I could not stop listening, but it was 9 hours of him just ranting about this one time where he accidentally walked onto the set of.
Oh, you can hear him talk for hours, dude. Just his voice and just.
Yeah, his voice
Oh, I
is
love his
low.
voice. His voice is so
enthralling.
iconic. Like,
Excuse me. Yeah.
It's so crazy, but his it's weird, like his Oscar speech as well. Because remember, he was like, "I want to thank few people, or like a couple people." Was like, first, my past self, forgive me this position. Second, my future self, for what I can strive to be. I was like, what? Your future self?
I think that man has lost his mind, or maybe he was just high. It could have just been that. I'm
No,
Or maybe he was dead and knows his ghost.
I don't know, but he's a
Or
solid
maybe
actor.
that was Matthew McConaughey's doppelganger, and he actually is a twin.
You
And he
maybe
didn't know what to say.
I don't know. He's
maybe
he
it
could
was Obama.
potentially-
Obama.
Obama.
Obama. Man.
I don't know. But yeah. So is there more we want to talk about? No Country for Old Men. I just the
just said it
way
was amazing.
the way the Coen brothers do violence, bro. It's too much for me. Too much.
Coen Brothers?
The
Yeah, they
Coen
made
brothers
No
are the
Country for
people
Old
who
Men.
they made No Country
Oh,
for Old
they-
Men. They made
Fargo. True Grit.
shoot. I'm thinking of one thing.
else?
Ballad of
Hail
Buster
Caesar.
Scruggs. The Ballad of
Don't
Buster
you
Ballad of
mean,
Buster Scruggs
oh
as well.
shoot, Luke?
That's what I was thinking. Shut up! I made a mistake. You don't have to
I
hold
know.
me,
We'll
hold
CGI
me
it
by
in
my
post, don't
ankle and burn me to death.
And belittle your family.
Yeah.
Bro, it's so interesting with I was watching a lot of the roundtables, like just actors on actors or whatever for Hollywood Reporter, and so it's like, you know, for like the year's like nominees or the people that were like doing well or noteworthy, and it's just so interesting to like hear these people talk. Like, so I listened to this year's ones, which were all virtual, and what do you call it? It was the one for like comedy actors, like on TV. It was Ricky Gervais, Kumail Nanjiani, Rami Youssef, Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek, and I think that was it. It was those four. I don't know. It's
Buster
just like
Scruggs.
super interesting to hear them. And like
No.
Ricky Gervais was so funny, bro. He was like, honestly, this pandemic was like quite great. Like I'm glad that we have a pandemic. Like it's helping me. Like I'm making a lot of money by people watching my show. Like this is great. I'm glad
Yeah.
that people are sad or whatever. And then like Rami Youssef was like, or like the reporter was like asking, so it's like, oh, like, so what's you guys like, you know, in this dark time, but like, what's like the best part of this pandemic? He's like, and then Rami like said with a straight face, he's like, honestly, it was probably like helping Ricky's bottom line. Like I'm glad we could help that. Stuff like that. And then Kumail
Feeding on
Nanjiani was
other
talking about,
people's
dude,
jokes.
Kumail Nanjiani's so jacked now, dude. Like he was like,
Mm-hmm.
so he was just like on the video call too.
I
He's
know.
so jacked. He looks like amazing. His hair is like super nicely made now. It's like he uses pomade. It's like curly kind of, and like
He
you know,
was
he's wearing
the,
like a polo shirt that like
what
you know
was his name?
constricts his bicep.
He was in Silicon Valley, right?
Dinesh, yeah, he was Dinesh in Silicon Valley.
Dinesh, that was it. Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
Silicon Valley. Yeah.
I was just like, whoa, dude, that dude
He
is
was-
so jacked, so jacked. Don't understand it. Marvel, why don't you hire me so I can just lose all my weight and become jacked too?
Facts.
Is Daniel looking at a photo of him?
So, Luke, were you gonna say something?
Huh?
Were you gonna say something?
I just want to do a peek sneak of this. I think it might be peek sneak.
I hate
I
that.
think it might be-
Actually, no. You know what? I actually do love that. It's just so adorable yet
No.
uncomfortable.
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
This might be better for if and when Daniel plays Red Dead. It might be better if we do a spoiler cast for that, or if we end up doing a spoiler section of a podcast for that. I take big issue
Are
with
you
people.
about to spoil the game? for me?
No, but it's just use
You
it.
about to spoil the
I'd be
game for
able
me?
to. I'd be
How
able to
dare
use
you. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Okay. I'd be able to use examples from Red Dead because that's where I take most of the offense from. But I take big issue with people saying that, just bringing up the prequel problem, the prequel problem, in air quotes, because I don't really think it exists.
What is a
because I
prequel
think
problem?
that you know how all the characters are going to end up because it's a prequel.
Yeah,
I don't think
low
that's
key.
true.
I kind of don't vibe with it. Like when they did like a prequel for Better Call Saul. When I heard about it, I'm like, like why?
Yeah.
Because
'Cause,
you
like,
know how it's gonna go.
You know how they're going to end up in the show, but you also don't know how they're going to get there. All the side characters.
I don't know,
anything
but,
else, like-
kind of do though. Like you kind of
really.
do. I do think
You
it's
don't know
quite,
where-
quite. I think it's quite poetic. You know, when they're showing it for yourself. Like when they show like, you know, like Anakin Skywalker's defense or like showcase of madness. That should be our title, just like Descent into Madness or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But like, because that's like the theme about everything we've been talking about. Like, you know, when he shows Descent into Madness, because you know it's gonna happen. Like, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Well, you
I
know
think
it's
it's
going to
poetic.
happen, but you also don't know how he gets there. You
I
don't
don't
know,
even
like.
necessarily think it's about the unknowing part. I think it's just seeing it unfold. It's just very interesting.
Well, yeah,
you
that's
know?
part of it. But I'm just talking about, like, the people, specifically the people who say that. Like, oh, you know how it's going to happen. But I think seeing how the character gets there is just as important as knowing.
I think
the
it's just a
ending.
consumer problem. They want something new. They want something more
Yeah.
of something they don't
That
know
might be
about. You know what I
true.
mean? Like,
Mhm.
like that's the thing about this like Black Widow movie that's coming out. It's like, why? Like, we know her. We've seen her for years. Like, why do we need to see?
Or
like,
Loki too. I have no interest in watching the Loki television.
Loki's a sequel though. It takes place after.
No, it is a sequel.
Avengers.
That is a genuine sequel.
But isn't it the Loki right? Okay, well,
Technically,
let
it's the
me
Loki
clarify.
after Avengers 1,
Exactly.
but
So-
it's like from the perspective after Endgame. So maybe he like comes back into the normal world after Endgame.
But also, it's
no,
not-
I think my issue is so much has happened since, so it's basically like they've rewinded time, and it's like nothing
Kinda.
has happened.
I don't
to
know.
his
We have to
character.
wait
Not
and see
really.
what happens, right? Like that's the.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. It just sounded when I heard that was the premise. I was like, I don't know how I feel.
I don't know.
About,
Like
a
technically,
character
you're
that's
right.
been developed for 10 years or whatever.
Technically, you're right, but I take issue to that. I don't know exactly why.
So technically, you're actually pretty accurate and on the dot. But
Listen, Daniel, if
you're-
I were a
but
smoker,
but I don't like it.
if I were a smoker, I would give you cigarette scars, cigarette burns.
What did I just? I like dipped for a second, and then I just read this.
I don't know what. I don't even know what that like what.
Do
Like
know-
you're
I don't
saying,
know what
if you
cigarette
were
burn
a
is?
cigarette smoker, you would abuse me.
Yes.
So on
Yes.
this podcast, we do not support.
Daniel, if you were a pistol, I'd put you right in between my mouth.
I don't know if
Daniel,
that's a
if you were-
compliment to me or like a
if you
cry
were-
for help. Like I'm so
Daniel,
confused.
if you were a person, if you were a human being standing right in front of me and I was holding a gun, I would pistol whip you.
Pistol whip.
Yeah, it's when you hit somebody with a gun on their head.
Right.
I would pistol whip you. If you were standing there right there
Daniel,
and I
if
had
you were a gun, I'd put you in my pants the way the gangsters do.
If you were a gun, I would throw you into a forge and burn you down.
Neighbor, the way you said that, it almost feels like an attack. I would put you in my pants. The way the gangsters do. Like, I don't
You know,
like
you
that.
know what they do? Like they put it inside like their pants
Yes,
so
I
they
know.
hold it because they don't have a holster. Yeah.
Daniel,
anyway.
if you were
I don't know
were
what the, no
a
no
knife,
no no no.
If you
no.
were if I was
No, stop.
somebody who owned knives,
Stop.
if I were somebody who owned
Stop.
knives, I would cut off your nose and make you a ghoul.
I like
Oh,
how,
bro,
you
that
know what's
reminds
funny?
me of something, dude.
Neighbor was telling you to stop, and I kept going, to see if who would win out, and it was me.
I have a question. Or no, do you remember like the era of flash games like on the computer?
Flash drive
I remember
games?
there was a game that people would just like download. It was just
Adobe
it was just
Flash?
a photo of
What are we talking
yeah
about?
yeah Flash. Like, you
Adobe
just
Flash
download
Oh,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
Adobe Flash. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just a picture of Harry Potter, and you would just, or it's like him, and then you would just have a knife and just scar him up, and he would just get bloodier.
What the hell?
more you
What?
scarred him up.
Kidding?
What the
What?
the heck? What
Yeah.
games did you play?
What?
I didn't play it. It was like at a friend's house, and they were just doing it for fun.
Okay.
Just like-
You sure you're not like scarred for? Is this like some
It wasn't
traumatic
that
experience?
violent,
That's
but like yeah, it was
Daniel-
just like that was the thing.
Daniel, you might not remember this, but do you remember our old close friend who we're not really friends with anymore that lives across the street from us right now?
yeah.
He showed us
Couldn't be more
this.
specific. Yeah, go ahead.
He showed us this Friday the 13th game. It was like a flash game, and I remember you went home to play it, and your parents freaked out, or you got super scared or something, and my parents told me not to play games in that website anymore, which sucked because it was like Addictive Games was the website, and that was the most popular flash.
Oh yeah,
game
dude, it's like what was up
website
with
of
people
all
and just
time.
like the blood?
Do you
and
remember
stuff,
that?
like- remember stick figure game?
No.
It was like it was on
I
Addicting
don't
Games.
remember.
It was like some
Damn.
it was like some sniping game, and it was just stick figures sniping each other.
I remember that.
It would just be super bloody.
What
It's
was the
Yeah,
game?
but there was always a lot of blood.
like, that was just the appeal.
I
man.
loved Toss the Turtle, even though it was very mindless.
that was
game.
fantastic.
don't know what
Where
that
you
is.
shot the turtle out, and then you would see how many
Daniel,
points you can
you
get,
like
and then you would
you
pay
like
for.
grinded at that. You grinded that game. I
I played
remember
a lot of.
You played-
Although
I
you
played a
don't
lot
have
of
to
lot of
grind
that
that hard after a certain point, Luke, because you can just go up to it,
It just
every
does
like
it all
30 minutes.
itself. Yeah.
And yeah, it does all of the work on its own.
Yeah, you
I
just
did a
like
lot
press
of-
the shoot button.
Crazy
Exactly.
Taxi, is that the name? Or you just jump a bunch? Crazy Taxi.
Is that the car that moves back and forth, and you have to jump
Yeah, the
over?
3 lanes.
Oh.
And you just jump.
Yeah.
I haven't
What
played
was
that,
the
but I've seen
game-
people play it.
What was the game where the person was like hanging by the noose and you had to shoot the arrow at him? to like
remember
shoot
that.
to shoot the rope. You don't
Oh,
remember
remember Transylvania?
No,
Or,
but I
like,
know what you're
that?
talking
I
about.
remember
Transylvania
Transylvania. I remember Transylvania.
Bro, I like had the cheat codes. I looked it up. I was just like, this is how you beat the game, and everybody thought I was cool because I just knew how to beat the game. I remember that. And
Does the
Pop
Impossible
Tropical
Quiz
was cool.
count as a Adobe Flash game?
I think so.
Maybe
Yeah,
I don't know.
a little bit.
Pop Tropica
Little
was
bit.
pretty dope.
Pop
I don't wanna play
Tropica
that
was
again.
awesome. So was Club Penguin.
Club Penguin was
great.
fire.
I never
but
played
that,
Club
again,
Penguin.
we're straying away from Flash games. That's
Bro,
okay.
Red Dead Redemption
Browser
2,
based games.
amazing.
Dude,
So
that's our
good.
dude. The conversation always leads back to Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah. Anyways, speaking of Red Dead,
You know what's interesting? So Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, and Breath of the
Mhm.
Wild came out. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild came out in 2017. And some of the mechanics in the game make me wonder: did they add that into Red Dead after playing Breath of the Wild, or just seeing it in action in Breath of the Wild?
Which one's
There's
I think
so
it
much-
would be
which
too
one's in
late.
particular?
There's just
wouldn't
so
it?
much
How would
systematic
they-
gameplay in Red Dead or in Legend of Zelda that's just like so organically done, right? So it's like the idea of campfires in Red Dead, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So you know how you just sit in, or you're in a spot and you just like start a campfire, and then
Yeah.
that's it, right? Like there's no effort, but that's what you do. Well, in like Zelda, you have a bundle of wood, you can grab it, like hold it, and you just drop it there, put a piece of flint
I don't
next
think
to it.
so. I think that's
Hit
'cause
the
that's-
thing, like hit it. You know what I'm talking about? Like hit the
yeah. Like
hit,
hit
the flint, with like a
Yeah.
metal object, like a metal sword, and then boom, starts a fire. Okay?
Yeah, I don't think so, Namer, because
That-
the
this is just
campfire
one.
in
This is just one.
okay, I'm talking specifically about this though. I don't think so because the campfire in Red Dead is such an kind of an integral part of the open world. Because in Red Dead, you have to sleep and stuff to have full
I think
corpse.
it's part of a thing in the open world as well in Zelda. Because
Well, yes, but I think my
you need
my
to
point
be
is
warm.
Namer,
So
I
my
think the
point
over.
is-
I think Luke. Yeah, the overlap is because they're both open world games.
Okay.
no okay, but my
hear
point
me
is
out on
in
this,
saying
though.
that
More.
is that
Yeah.
the mechanic is so integral to the open world that there's no way they would have added it a year before it released.
Okay, hear me out though. Continued.
Okay.
Horse bonding. Not to be confused with horse bondage.
I
Very
was about
different
to
thing.
say.
Very
I was
different
about to
thing.
say. My thought process immediately went, "What does this have to do with horse
Two very
bondage?"
separate things. But yeah, so like horse bonding, like in Zelda, you just like bond with your horse. You just basically like soothe it by like tapping it on the side. You could feed it, like you just get like the carrot out and just feed it, and then stuff like that. And just makes me wonder. Like obviously, horses were gonna be in Red Dead no matter what. But maybe like, because in Red Dead 1, it's like there's like you just ride them. There's not really a bonding aspect.
Again, I
like,
think
anything like
I
that.
think the fact
I
that
also
you have
think
to
you're
do
kinda
all
s-
this stuff.
I think you
fact
can
you have to-
get kind of surprised
ahead.
with how much they can add within a year. You know what I mean? Or how much they do end up adding in a year. you know
No,
what I
I'm
mean?
not saying that they can't add it in here. I'm saying that they wouldn't because it's so integral to the game. I think that the fact
How is
that
bonding so integral to the? I feel like you just take it out.
well,
and
the
it'll
whole
be
point
fine.
of most of the point of or a big part of the game is that you have to do everything yourself, really, right? So I think bonding with your horse is a part of that. Is a part of you actually live in this world and have to do these things. You have to check every pocket or not every pocket, but you have to check each
Namer,
body
try to be
individually,
more
stuff
respectful.
like that.
Sorry, it was just a yawn.
Namer just yawned, just like the biggest yawn while Luke's talking. Oh, I couldn't care. I'm right.
Yeah. Anyway, I just
So
think
Namer,
that
what did
these
so
mechanics
Namer?
are so
Tell
big.
me, what did Luke just say?
He just said that it's so integral into the open world that it couldn't be possible that they.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Had
saying.
to-
That is
I
what
mean,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
I do think it's generally real.
Not that
I'm
it's
curious.
not that it's,
We're on the same
not that
page.
it's impossible to add it in a year. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they would have done it before that.
Yeah, you could definitely be right. Like I agree with you. I again, this is just me grasping at straws here. I'm
Because
just-
like unless
it's
they
more so me being
completely
curious.
overhauled the entire open world, all of the game mechanics, then sure. If they did all that,
Yeah,
then
Namer,
sure.
I think
I'm
it
just
has more to
genuinely
do with
curious.
they're both really good open world games that came out relatively recent to each other. So of course
Yeah.
they're gonna have an overlap in features. Like
it's like a year and a half.
the natural progression
It's like
of
19 months. It's not really that much within each other. It's pretty far apart.
Okay, shut up.
in the whole gaming world. I mean, when did games start?
Gotham Knights got
2002?
delayed too, bro. Kind of bummed about that.
When did games start?
Gotham Knights kind of got delayed. Kind of bummed about that. It's basically like
What is that?
a sequel. It's a sequel to
ask.
Arkham Knight.
Didn't ask.
Kind of. It's like a spiritual sequel to Arkham Knight.
No, Luke, you actually did ask.
Yeah. You can basically play as anybody in the family, so it's like in the Gotham Bat family. So it's
Dude, you can play as anybody in the city.
no.
In the city of
So you can
London,
play-
and you can
you
hack
play
into
Robin,
everything.
No, Watchdog
Nightwing.
Legions, Batman.
No, but it's like it generally looked cool because not only could you play co-op, but you could just play by yourself if you wanted to. But you could play with every character
Mm-hmm.
in co-op. So it's like a GTA. Like you just switch between the characters if you want
Oh,
to.
okay, I see. Yeah.
Which I guess they're doing that a lot in superhero games. Like I guess Marvel Avengers started it.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. But on top of that, yeah, it got delayed. It's supposed to come out this year, so I guess it's coming out in 2022. Whatever. I mean, I understand. I wasn't like super looking forward to it. I'm curious
Yeah.
about God of War though. If they're gonna delay it, they might as well just announce that they're gonna delay it because it's supposed to come out this year.
Why do you think it's going to be delayed? What do you?
Because
think
it's supposed to come out this year, and we haven't heard anything about it.
Well, maybe they're just biding time.
I mean, they might give
Or
a
maybe,
release date.
or maybe, neighbor, they're taking your advice and not releasing cinematic cutscenes that don't have anything to do with the story.
No, but they announced last year. It was like a God of War logo, 2021.
Again, you're the one that said that they shouldn't release non-gameplay trailers or whatever.
And they did. So you're proving my point.
No,
shouldn't
they
have done
did.
that.
But you said that they shouldn't do any. You said that they shouldn't do it, and maybe they're just taking your advice.
No, Luke,
In
I
this
think you're
case.
actually right on this one because, they certainly. Oh my God, I'm making a connection right now. We have one viewer on the podcast, and this one company stopped making cinematic trailers as far as we know. That must mean they listened to this
Mr.
podcast
God of War
and
himself.
they decided,
It was
based
Kratos.
on our advice, to not make cinematic trailers. So,
Yeah, Robert God of War. He
Robert
listens
God
to
of
us.
War.
Yeah, that's his name. That's his name.
That was actually
Creator of God of War.
that was actually the PS2 version of Robert God of War. Traveled forward in time and watched that and decided, hey guys, we shouldn't do this anymore. And he traveled
Yeah.
back in time.
I just
Anyway,
don't know.
I hate
Same thing with
I hate
Horizon.
The
Like,
Cybertruck. The Cybertruck, bad.
why are we talking about this again? This is like so old. Like the Cybertruck
Guys,
was
did
not
you see?
2 years
Did
ago.
you guys see the video
Sorry,
where
what?
he threw the rock at it and
Oh.
it broke? He said it was bulletproof and it broke. Did you guys see that?
yes.
The Rock
That was
broke?
So
crazy.
old. What is
That was
this
crazy.
old? Is Luke
Filmed on-
rewinding time by 2
filmed
years? I'm so
on
confused.
filmed on the cutting edge new technology of the iPhone X.
Okay, so he is
Oh my
making
God,
a joke.
yeah.
It's just also,
Yeah, but
dude,
like the God
there's
of
no iPhone X.
Oh yeah,
there
Horizon as well. Horizon
Oh,
also.
there's no iPhone 10.
Dude,
No,
poor
it's
Horizon,
an
man.
X.
They basically were like
There's
they
no 11.
did Zelda before
No,
Zelda
that's
even
not
came out,
There's no
and they got absolutely robbed, bro. I don't think robbed, but like, like it was Horizon was a genuinely great game. Like it's super fun to play, and the story was genuinely interesting. That's why I've been playing Breath of the Wild because I've been borrowing Daniel's Switch.
Are you talking
for
about?
an yeah, for an
Are you talking about
indeterminate
the
amount of
Deepwater
time.
Horizon?
No, I'm just kidding. No,
Are you talking
no,
about the
I'm not.
Deepwater Horizon, the
I'm
oil
not.
rig that exploded?
No,
You
no.
know,
I'm talking about the Thin Blue Line actually.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You're a supporter of that, aren't
that
you?
caught his
You
attention.
believe-
That caught his
Shut up.
attention real
Neighbor
good.
Neighbor thinks Black lives don't matter.
You know what's weird?
no.
I was listening. I was driving and I was listening to a Conan O'Brien podcast. He was interviewing Ron Reagan, who's Ronald Reagan's son. He's like 60 now. He's a liberal, like a full on liberal.
That's hilarious.
Isn't that weird? But he's like
That is
super
funny.
respectful of his dad. Obviously, he's just saying, my dad obviously wouldn't have listened to Trump. He would have read Trump in a second. Yeah,
Dude,
all
I
that
don't
stuff.
know.
Do
He
you
would've
know?
agreed with Trump's
He-
every policy,
he-
though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do
Luke,
want to
you
say,
know what?
Luke,
I
he
think
is his dad,
I
man.
think
Like,
Luke-
I don't want-
Luke didn't think that one through. Luke, I think you would know better than his
No.
own son.
I think he would have, but you can't disagree that he probably would have agreed with all of Trump's policies, though. Probably right up until
he
the
probably wouldn't have
COVID-19
liked the person, man. I don't know, but like
No, not
I
about
do
liking the
think-
person, but he would have agreed with all of his actions.
I don't
as
know. I don't
president.
think so. I don't know. We're not gonna.
I mean,
get
he
into
Every
this.
literally
single
did
word,
agree
Luke,
with
We're
that's
not
such a
getting into
blatant
this rabbit
statement. We're
hole.
not even going to talk about it.
But he
Most
was
of his actions
also,
as president.
but like he was also talking about when he was younger. Like he basically, when he was 12, he basically told his dad, like, I don't want to go to church. I don't believe in God. Like, I just don't think it'd be right, even if like to fake it, even if a God exists.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I
So
don't
we
want to go to
pulled
church.
what one of our friends did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so his dad was just like, okay. He was mad, but like he was like, okay, I understand.
And then he murdered his son. This was actually a story about Ron
He
Reagan's
actually started
older
the
brother.
AIDS epidemic.
This
after
is
that.
the
He was just
story
like,
of Ronald Reagan's older brother. I know you
No,
didn't say
Ron
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan's.
I
Ron
know,
Reagan
I know.
Jr.'s.
Yes, okay.
yeah,
It-
but
he's-
it was,
because
it was an
we-
interesting listen. He was like super like he was just because it was like right after the insurrection happened, like right after, literally like the day after.
Which
And so-
interaction? What?
Which erection?
Which one?
One Direction.
Oh, I watched
All
this
right,
movie.
I think that's enough for the podcast. I
Suction
just cut
puction?
it off. I just cut off the podcast right there.
Hey, as
after
long as
that.
we're talking about movies, I heard Naimur started one the other day. Filmed by a company called what's it called? Blacked?
Oh my god. No.
What? I don't get this reference or joke.
You don't
He's
get
talking
it?
about the tripod that's like next to my bed. Viewer, you put one and one together
It's
for
such
the
a
joke.
dumb joke, Luke. Such
Did
a
you guys
stupid-
see
that
the-
one does not get any credit.
I'm throwing
not
this
gonna-
tripod in the garbage now. You're never gonna see it ever again. Swear.
No, we actually need it for the thing that I want to do this summer. We all
Dude,
get
it's
vaccinated.
broken. I have to buy a new one. So.
Well,
Did
I
you
have
guys
to
see
tape.
the-
We're just taping iPhones to it, anyways.
Did you
Yeah,
guys
I
see the TikTok of? I'll be honest. This man is African American. He's working out a lot. It's a video of him working out, and over it is he's saying, I work out so much because my dream is to star in a porn film, or be a porn star." And he says specifically the porn company he wants to work for is Blacked.com. Because apparently they give really good benefits to all their employees.
Oh, that's good. He's pro union, so that's good.
Yeah.
He just
He's
wants to do right.
pro union. That's the moral of the story, kids. You should be pro
pro-union.
union.
Frick
Moral of the story:
Jeff Bezos.
start an OnlyFans, man. It's up to you.
I have one.
I will not be watching. I would actually pay you to do
No,
it.
it's actually not pornography. It's just me burning fascist
It's your
literature.
woodworking. It's your woodworking.
It's just me burning American flags.
Nice.
But then you can pay me more, and I'll burn other kinds of flags too.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So if you pay
Oh, I
me,
watched
like,
Ted Lasso. I,
I
forgot to
love
talk
the
about
direction this is heading, Luke. This
that.
vid is
No,
really
I'm,
good.
I'm saving this single-handedly. You know, like Captain America in Civil War, when he's like grabbing the helicopter and also grabbing the thing at the same time. Also,
yeah, and the helicopter
I have
gets
a- I
away.
have a
Like
thi-
I'm
I
about
have
to
a
get away
problem
with this
with
bit because
there is
I
no
pay...
logic to his strength because it shows him like struggling to do certain things that like would struggle for me, right? Like so if I was to open an elevator, he'd be like like he grunt. You can tell by the grunting. It takes a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like the same type of grunting when he's trying to pull a helicopter that's at full velocity back in, as well as a place like, you know what I mean? It's like, so is it
Yeah,
the
but
same?
he
Also, what can he
like,
bench press then? What can he bench press then? Like, can he bench press
8,000
like
pounds.
100,000
But
pounds? Like,
he lifted or he opened those elevator doors like they were nothing too. Like he might have grunted
Sometimes,
a
yeah.
little bit. He
Or-
might have
or-
grunted a little bit, but that doesn't mean it was completely.
no. Because I
he had to
watched
actually do work.
Winter Soldier and stuff, so it just doesn't make sense sometimes.
I watched
The
Winter
things
Soldier too over the past week or two.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. Like, there's no logical rule set, for his thing, and then on top of that, in Ultron, he like just rips the tree branch or just the tree trunk, just crank like that.
Okay,
It's
well that's not
nothing.
that hard. I can do that
Oh yeah, you can
easily.
You can.
Easily.
That's the end of that bit. That's the
Easily.
no. We're
You
not
can?
even gonna let that one
Easily.
slide.
Yeah, and I'm the president
Easily.
of Queen Latifah. Okay,
easily.
that didn't even make any sense, but
It didn't make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we should wrap it up soon because I don't want to have to edit the whole thing.
15 minutes. Give us 15 minutes, Mom. All right.
No,
15
dude. No.
Namer, in the
yeah.
past,
I'm
over the
gonna
past
throw a
next few minutes,
fit.
Namer, over the past few minutes,
Then I
you
throw
and
a
I,
fit.
Namer, you and I should say as many curse words as we can, and intersperse it with actual conversation, so that just Daniel has to do the most work possible.
No,
Okay.
you know,
I mean, I
I
could
think
just edit it
I
out.
think in order to keep this podcast from going on longer, we should just talk about The Expanse. Great show.
I think you should shut the f up.
And that's no, I'm just kidding.
And that's the end of the podcast. No, imagine we cut it there. That'd be so.
How fast in line do
Imagine-
you think
imagine-
Captain America would be to get the
imagine if we
vaccine, the COVID
did cut
vaccine?
it there, though.
He's
He
an elderly,
wouldn't,
so
but
would he be
he's
1A?
also- But he also doesn't. Isn't his immune system like basically God?
I guess he wouldn't even have to worry about COVID.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can compare
Lucky man.
anything human related to basically God.
Okay, Daniel. What about the
He's
particle
not though,
accelerator
because he could get
explosion?
shot and then die.
Daniel, what about the particle accelerator explosion in the Flash? Huh? That made mutants everywhere.
Speaking of Flash, you guys want to watch the Snyder Cut tonight? Or not tonight? Not tonight.
It's
Next
4
week.
hours long.
Hey, for people who don't know, it's currently 1:15 in the morning, and he's asking if we want to watch the Snyder Cut
I don't
tonight.
know.
I
It's
didn't mean
so
tonight.
long.
I don't know that I
I'll
have
watch it
any
tomorrow.
interest.
I generally liked.
Honestly,
Justice
I don't know
League
if I have
one.
any time. If we were to watch like 2 hours of it, like one night, and 2 hours of it another night, I'd be fine with it.
Is
Bro,
it
what are
4
you
hours
doing?
long?
It's
Hours.
Saturday.
It's 4
Yeah,
hours long.
Yeah, but I thought the movie was actually like really good. Like the first movie, I had no expectations. It was like funny. It was entertaining. It was like good.
Okay, I
Solid.
haven't seen any of the DC movies in like the past 4
You
5
do,
years.
dude? Do you really think the DCEU is that interconnected?
No, I don't. I'm just making sure I don't have to have any
No,
background.
you don't. You really don't even need to know anything. If anything, you should probably just watch Justice League 1 and then compare it to Justice League Snyder Cut. Because I'm curious about all the changes and like how different it's going to be. Most of the movie,
Honestly-
it's just him recruiting everybody and being like, we really need Superman, man. And then everyone's like, but we
Wait.
can't. He's dead, right?
Wait,
like he
Superman,
died.
man?
For real. Remember in
Who's this-
Batman v
Is
Superman?
that a spoiler?
Who cares, man? Like, is someone really going to cry?
I'm joking.
To be
How
fair, the
long
movie is like 15 years old, so it's
I
not
know.
a big deal.
Worst mistake of my life. Choosing to watch Batman v Superman the weekend Civil War came out instead. Worst choice of my life.
Daniel,
But,
what
like,
did we watch? Daniel, remember we watched a movie and then we saw Naimur watching Batman versus Superman. What movie did we watch? Did we watch Civil
that
War?
it? No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't
you
think
weren't
so.
with us. You weren't
We
with
watched
us.
a Marvel
we
movie
were,
together at some point.
We
though.
ran into you? I don't remember that.
Yeah, y'all were getting like coffee or something at the Starbucks and the Barnes and Nobles at the mall, and we were like
Wow. Way to
waiting
date
for
us,
our
man.
parents or something.
Namer.
And then
Literally every mall has a Barnes and Noble with the Starbucks inside of it.
you know what mall doesn't? The one down the road called. Just kidding. I wasn't gonna do that.
Anyway. Okay.
Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe it was so long ago. Dude. I don't even remember.
I'm pretty sure.
I had no expectations going into a movie. And I literally did not care going out. It was amazing. I just watched Justice League.
You
I just,
left?
like,
He entered and left the theater with the exact same feeling, which is honestly quite impressive.
it was
I don't think
amazing,
any
man.
movie's ever made me done that.
I remembered how
Have
much
we
I didn't
done that?
like
What-
Wonder Woman's.
I'm
guitar
gonna
riff.
stop talking because I'm falling asleep. At this.
I hate Wonder Woman's guitar riff because she's like in it multiple times in Batman. v Superman.
Why do you hate it? I'm just curious. What do you not like about it?
It's just,
I love it.
when they were like put it. It's so memey when primarily in Batman v
That's fair.
Superman and Wonder
you-
Woman 1 is good.
I think
Namer,
they
did
just,
you
if
ever watch-
It's overplayed.
Namer, did you ever watch the new Wonder Woman?
I watched like the first quarter to like
Okay,
half
because
of
it was terrible. Don't watch
yeah,
the
it was
rest
not
of
that
it.
great. It was not that.
Don't
great.
watch the rest
I
of
saw a
it.
video analysis of it and I was like, yeah, man, wow.
No, it was awful.
Because I'm more
It was
interested
really
in
bad.
the lessons I
was
can
so much
learn
going
from a
for it, man.
terrible
I was, like,
movie
so
than
excited.
actually watching the movie.
There was so much going for it. I was genuinely excited because I loved.
So was
Wonder
I,
Woman
because
1.
the first
I
movie
loved
was
the
actually
first
really
one
good.
too.
You know, like Pedro
Yeah.
Pascal, who's a great actor.
I think they failed. I think
Stephen
they
Trevor
failed
was
in
going to
the
come back.
Yeah,
I think it was
they
reliant
failed
on
in the.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I think they
I was
failed
gonna
in the
say-
what?
I think they failed when they decided that they had to bring back a dead character.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I
And they
think
had to do
Stephen
it in a
Trevor
stupid
single-handedly
way.
ruined the movie. I
Yeah.
think, like, not like him himself, like Chris Pine himself. I'm saying more so the fact that they had to bring him back.
If only they could find another way to have Chris Pine in it, 'cause I could look at him all day.
Yeah, like why would you have to choose that to, for him to be alive? You know, it's like
Right.
oh,
That's
his-
what I was
his
saying. It's not
essence is
just
in
the
a
fact that they
random
brought him
person.
back,
All right.
but how they did it.
I think my joke did
Yeah.
not land, or y'all didn't notice it.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter, dude. Oh, how do you guys feel about
Okay.
the Oscar nominations though? You'll vibing with
Haven't
them?
looked at him. Couldn't care.
Oh, I'm glad.
No, that's
the
not
first
true.
year,
I do care.
The
but
first year they nominate someone of South
You know-
American descent,
You know that
aka
trend?
me. You don't care. And also,
Isn't
the
it-
first
wait,
time
Namer,
they
isn't it
nominate someone who's Asian
first
American as
Muslim-
well.
First Muslim, first Asian American, oldest person. To
I don't know
be
about first
nominated.
Muslim. I feel like there's been other.
It is
Muslim
first
people
Muslim.
nominated.
I heard it was the first Muslim.
I know he's like the first of South Asian descent.
His name
He's from
was Yusuf Muhammad.
No, Rami Malek. No, that's not him. What's his name? Riz Ahmed.
Yeah.
Why did I say Rami
Luke
Malek?
just named the most generic name. Namer, Have you guys have seen that trend on TikTok where it's like, what Minecraft player are you? The builder. And then it's an image. The fighter. The racist.
The racist.
So I saw
Steve.
one that was pretty funny. It was about the ending one is always Steve. For people who don't get the reference, it's basically just you put 4 photos up. You put one for the builder, the fighter, and then when it cuts to the racist, it's this really long pause, implying that this photo or anyone associated with this concept
is
God, I
racist.
love it.
I had to explain it for people who
Analyzing
don't use
comedy.
TikTok.
Beautiful.
Anyway,
You see,
so I saw
when they
one.
say the racist and there's a photo, it's supposed to be evident that the photo in question.
Okay, Naimur, I'm
depicting
tired.
something
Okay,
that's
I'm just
racist.
trying to. This is how I make conversation when I'm tired. Okay, here's what I wanted to
Steve.
say. Here's what I wanted to say though. I saw
Steve.
one that was like, what type of reward show are you? Like award show. And
Reward
it was
show?
like the Oscars, the Grammys, the Emmys, all of them. But every single time it was just the racist, the racist,
Racist.
the racist,
racist.
the racist.
I love-
It's the weirdest phenomenon ever. It's where people always crap on like the Academy after nominations get out, but they also care about what wins. You know what I mean? Like I'm
didn't
in the
even
same
think
boat
about that.
too. I'm in the same boat too, but it's like everybody's just like, oh my god, yet another year that's disappointing in nominees. It's like, oh my god, Parasite won. This is so
I
important.
do think
for
they have a
cinema
thing
in
against
every way.
anime. Or
Oh, yeah, for
just
sure. They have
animated movies outside
Yeah,
of
it's
the
old
US.
white people that aren't gonna watch the movies that are voting on
Didn't
it. Like, of
Boss
course.
Baby win a nomination
No, it got
over like a
nominated.
really high quality like
I got nominated for
Anime-
best animation.
yeah.
Boss
Oscar.
Baby won Best Picture.
No, it didn't. Should have though. Boss Baby was amazing. I love
Oh my god.
it. Netflix show.
That would be literally that would be a
Netflix
meme
show
for so
for me, my
long.
list.
That would be a meme for so
That
long.
would be,
list.
that would be the
Boss Baby
funniest. That would be the funniest thing to ever happen to me.
My
Yeah.
list of favorite movies: Boss Baby 1, Boss Baby 2, and then my favorite TV shows: Boss Baby, the show, and
There's
Breaking
a
Bad.
show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix or something.
Breaking Bad.
Okay, my top 3 movies:
Red Dead
Boss Baby,
Redemption
Boss Baby
2.
1, obviously. Cars
Favorite
2,
video game: Boss Baby, the movie, the game.
Cars 2. My third favorite movie was Whoopa Gangnam Style.
You butchered
it.
that so hard, dude.
I mean, he didn't even try. He wasn't
didn't
trying,
try.
Namer.
I don't
You
know.
have to
A-
understand.
After we finish this Boss Baby podcast, I will turn off my Boss Baby mic. Turn off my Boss
I just
Baby
want to
themed
say,
iMac.
Daniel.
My
Boss
boss
Baby-
baby
I
Mike.
just
It's a mic themed after the.
I just want to say, as a parting note, if I was a smoker, I would
party.
still give Daniel cigarette burns.
As I was saying, so I turn off my Boss Baby themed iMac, and then curl up in my Boss Baby sheets, my Boss Baby bed, and then I read my Boss Baby nighttime story that I always read. Turn on my Boss Baby night.
Can you read that to us right now
just
as we're
Boss
wrapping up?
Baby
Baldwin.
Nightlight.
It's just Alec Baldwin projected on the ceiling.
Neighbor,
I
I want to
stare at
ask.
it in
Can
peace,
you
knowing when I wake up, I will see Boss Baby once
Neighbor,
again.
can you read us the Boss Baby nighttime story
hate
right
that.
now?
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you read us
so-
the Boss Baby nighttime story?
Once there was a baby,
Uh huh.
and he started at the. He was actually a woman, and this is in
Okay.
1960s Hollywood. So
Okay. Right.
no vertical promotions whatsoever happening. No vertical moves.
But Harvey
and-
Weinstein is available for this weekend.
Yeah, except they call them Baby Weinstein. So it's a little
I hate this so much.
Baby Weinstein, little Einsteins.
Oh, I
Dude, do you not remember when Peak Humor in 2014 was a trap remix of the Little Einsteins theme song? Oh my god.
Yeah, but now
I
now
don't,
Humor.
Namer, I
Humor-
think it's too late that I'm just gonna find anything funny, even if it's not. This is not
Now-
good for
Do you
podcast
not remember that?
quality.
We
No, I
had-
do.
There's people in middle school. These are grown people, like, not grown, but like these are middle school people. Like Little Einsteins is stuff for like 5-year-olds, okay? And they're just singing unironically. It's like we're going on a trip in our favorite.
But
rocket
Namer,
ship
to be
to
fair,
make
would you prefer
the
that
sky."
or the current day Peak of Humor, which is just the letter E on a blank background?
That's still kind of old, actually. Now
That is
it's
pretty-
just
it's
like
2 years old.
It's
Well, it's like the
random
high-pitched sound,
image
man.
with like 2-word caption that doesn't make sense. Like it'll be a picture of a cat on like a grass lawn, and then it'll just say baked beans. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's
The thing is,
literally
though,
nonsensical.
The thing is, though, I would laugh my ass off at that.
I know
It'd be
that's
so
I
funny.
literally. By the way, I have not seen that before. That I made that up on the spot, right? So it's literally could be just garbage, random.
Beans. No, I remember something that made me and my roommate. I think I've talked about this before. It made me laugh
I
so
can't do it.
hard. It was just. It was a video. It was like a clip from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and it's like I guess it's the part where like the kid had his dream journal gets taken by the bully, whose name is Linus. And
We already
you can
talked
tell
about this.
He's Linus because
We
he
did
has the
talk
letter
about
L on his shirt.
Oh, okay. I
And
thought we
he's
were
just
talking
like-
about. I was like, we
and
already
then-
talked about Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Are we really about to
Maybe, I don't
recover
know.
the scene again?
Yeah, but then the kid's like, "You ruined my dream journal." He's like, "I did not, Mr. E. Have this boy expel that
Boom. Oh god, it's such a
It's so
funny
good.
line. Just everything, the deliveries in that movie are.
No, but the meme, like the way it was memed, is so funny, man. And then,
Mhm.
just everything else. I don't know, but like, there is some misses, man.
You know
It's
what'd
like-
be really funny? You know what? I think we should actually do this. Like, unironically, I think this would be a great way to bring attention to our channel. Posting, like, full-length, like, 30-minute video essays where
On
we,
memes?
like, where we unironically, in air quotes, unironically analyze a movie that is just garbage. Like, why Shark Boy versus Lava Girl is the best movie ever made. And it's like us... See, what you don't understand is the
Or, like-
subtext of this scene, and then it just cuts to the clip of "Have this man expelled." He
Or,
means
like-
so
or, like-
much more. He's hurting on the.
Oh, it's like those
inside.
TikToks where it's like you think they're gonna
Or, like-
genuinely explain something. No, it's usually the dude named like Sutherland Physics, who used to be like a physics professor.
Right. Oh, I've seen.
It's like
him.
why does like quantum mechanics happen? I don't know. It's like something like that. He's like, oh yeah, okay. So I've actually want to talk about this. So it's like basically you do and it just cuts to him running.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Or
What,
one
what were
we
you
could
gonna
do
say,
is,
Luke?
or one we could do is why There Will Be Blood is one of the best movies of all time.
It's like that
But that's
video
But that's
of
unironic.
It's like that video that Nerd Writer
that's the
did on
opposite
April
of what I'm-
Fools.
Did
He
I
did
get
a video?
Yeah, you got the bit wrong.
Yeah, you got the bit wrong bit.
Oh,
He did. Nerd Writer did a video. It was It was some April Fool's thing like years ago. It was just it was a serious take on the fidget spinner, but it was like all fake. It was just talking about how like it was like some
Right.
woman worked from the ground up to make
mm,
a spinner of fidgets and yada yada and like
Yeah.
the thing about this, it's like from a style of Nerd Writer video.
Mm-hmm.
I speaking of him, I also watched a video about James Gandolfini acting, and yeah, I think after I watched Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, probably watched The Sopranos. I've never seen it before, so and then
Never
The
seen
Wire.
it before either.
Oh, we should
I
all watch
watched
it together. See,
this-
that's what I would like. Once COVID's over, I hope there's like HBO or AMC makes good content again. Like screw Walking Dead, bro. Just end it already. You literally, bro. I will never get over how they advertised an entire season as being the person's final season in the show. And in Walking Dead, it's like, oh, it's his final season. I guess he's just gonna leave happily ever after. No, bro. You know what's gonna happen. He's probably gonna die. So like, why are you advertising it's his final season? I feel like you should just
Yeah.
wait. That's like saying like
But didn't he? Spoiler: didn't he not actually die?
it's like yeah, I don't think he did. So it's like ambiguous, right? Like it could be in anything. But like they could just say he's dead.
mm.
I don't know. But like
Hey,
That was so stupid.
I have a great idea for the end of the podcast. Do you want to hear it?
I thought you were just gonna end it.
No.
I have a good idea. Thank.
I mean, we can do that. No, I was thinking, like, I don't know if it'd be a funny bit, but, like, I hate ripping off Band-Aids, and I want to rip off my Band-Aid from my shot today. And so, like, it
As
could
long
just
as I
be,
get
like,
to lick the
the
wound.
sound of me ripping it off.
I'm
and,
gonna
like,
yeah. Wait,
screaming
no, I
in
have an
pain.
wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
What are we gonna do?
Okay, you're gonna okay. Daniel's finally ripping off the Band-Aid. Are you ready? Rip
Yeah,
it off.
hopefully it won't hurt. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I just count down?
Yeah.
3,
All right, see you tomorrow.
1.
Huh?
Video
is that
games are
bad?
just like other forms of art. I ripped off the Band-Aid. I did it. I said it. See, that was like the metaphorical Band-Aid.
Huh?
And you did the literal
Right.
one.
Right, because no
And
one
when we
wanted to say that.
juxtapose it, we understand
Wait, if we're
how
talking about
useless
metaphorical
this
Band-Aids,
intersectionality of this
So I think
dissection of progress that
again,
we're
going
creating.
back to Spy Kids.
if we're talking about metaphorical Band-Aids, here's one.
So,
here's one.
speaking-
Just gonna rip it off. Just gonna rip it off. I
no.
think cars should be banned.
And I
Ultra
think
liberal.
I think this is the end of the podcast.
I think.
I think we made it.
I think
I think we're too tired to make anything funny.
I
anymore.
think we're gonna watch.
Therefore, I am.
Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
Nah.
I don't know. I kind of.
So I'm
We
gonna
did watch an
I'm gonna put
episode
the
of
ending.
Riverdale. So
I'm gonna
I think
put
we
the
can do
ending
anything.
about
really.
4 minutes ago when it was actually a funny.
Yeah,
ending.
honestly. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.
No.
Wait,
We
wait,
gotta
I have to
an
edit
actual
in
end.
one part.
No, we're ending
We're-
it for real when I say we're ending it.
Listen,
Okay.
Okay, well, can you end
Namer,
it?
Okay,
Namer, if
but
anybody,
first, I do
if
want to talk about
anybody-
the short discussion that I've been meaning to. So, the intersectionality of the composition of our identities at work.
All right,
in a
thank you
mindset
everyone
and
for
safe
listening
space
to
that doesn't
this
necessarily make
this
any
episode
sense.
of the
If
podcast.
anybody-
It's mind-boggling
I
if
to
hope you
fathom
enjoyed.
and
if
kind of
everyone
anybody
watching
in
this.
this
I'm
group-
It's quite
just
interesting
sorry.
to bring
If
this up.
This is
anybody-
the end of the.
if anybody.
Okay, we're done.